What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Houston Productions video. I'm your host Lucas, as always, to bring you a brand new video. And today we're talking about my top 5 movies to get you excited to go to the theaters to end 2024. So, let's jump right in. Alright guys, but before we jump in, let's keep a couple things in mind, alright? 1, just because I'm excited for these doesn't mean that you have to be. 2, these aren't going to be in any particular order. This is just a list that I've compiled of 5 movies that I'm excited to see. And 3, just because you haven't heard of these, just because you aren't excited for these, doesn't mean that these aren't going to be worth a watch. Now, some of these are a little bit more of that indie type film, so I can't guarantee and I don't know for sure how fast these will be able to be widely distributed. So just because I'm going to give you a good release date doesn't mean that's going to be when it releases for you. So keeping all that in mind, let's jump right into number 1. And my first recommendation dropping on November 22nd is Gladiator 2. Now, we've all seen Gladiator before. It's a cinematic masterpiece. Well acted, great storyline, good performances, good use of practical effects, even though some of them fall apart upon the rewatch on DVDs and kind of break down a little bit. But forgetting all of that, Gladiator 2 is going to be a great movie. I'm excited for it. And this is one of those movies that, yes, it's probably just going to end up rehashing a lot of what happened in Gladiator 1. But as somebody who enjoys Denzel Washington, and as somebody who really enjoys Ridley Scott, I have to tell you, I'm very excited for this. And even if it is a rehash, it's been a long time since we've been in a Coliseum and seen some gladiators fight. And I'm very excited for it. So keep an eye out for Gladiator 2 dropping on November 22nd. And moving right along into my number 2 recommendation, dropping on December 6th, the day before my birthday. I'm very excited for this one. Is none other than Y2K. This movie is written and directed by Kyle Mooney. Secondhand writer is Evan Winter. And basically, if you've ever seen Superbad and you enjoyed that, and you've ever seen that 90s movie Maximum Overdrive by Stephen King, and you enjoyed that, you're going to love this movie. Basically, high school kids, nerdy kids, want to be popular, go to party, stuff goes awry, and yeah, it all happens on a party to celebrate Y2K, going into the new century. What could go wrong? Anyways, this movie looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, brought to you by a great studio, and I'm very excited to see this. Like I said, if you enjoyed Maximum Overdrive and Superbad, this is going to be right up your alley, so definitely keep an eye out on December 6th and go see Y2K. And my number 3 recommendation, dropping this month actually, September 27th, is none other than Megalopolis. Yes, the highly controversial, contested, wasn't bought at a film festival, finally got bought, heavily financed by Francis Ford Coppola. Yeah, that movie. The one where he supposedly was kissing extras on the set and making everybody feel uncomfortable. That movie, Megalopolis. Now, this definitely looks like an interesting movie. If you've seen the trailer, you'll get what I mean. And if you haven't, wait till after this video to go watch it and you'll understand what I mean when I say that this looks like an interesting movie. But the whole premise is that it's going to follow an architect who wants to rebuild New York City into a utopia following a devastating disaster. Sounds interesting, and it's very euphoric looking. It's definitely got one of those indie, what if, over-the-top, symbolic kind of vibes. It definitely doesn't look like a typical Francis Ford Coppola movie if you're used to seeing some of his classic works, like Apocalypse Now or The Godfather or anything like that. But I'm really interested to see this. You know, putting all the controversies that I set aside, this movie looks like it could be really interesting, and it wasn't picked up at festivals like I had mentioned, so I'm not quite sure how this is going to go into the Oscar race and the awards race coming up, but it does have Adam Driver as its lead, and so with him at the helm, Francis Ford Coppola as the writer and the director and the financier, this looks like it could be an interesting movie, and it might just kind of like sneak its way into the awards, race and be a surprise that nobody was expecting. Early reviews have been mixed, and there were a lot of people coming out of the festival saying they understood why it was having such a hard time finding a distributor. But regardless of all that, dropping on September 27th is one of my highest anticipated movies of the year, Megalopolis. And chugging right along into my number 4 hyped recommendation to end 2024 is none other than Saturday Night. This movie is going to be dropping on October 11th, directed by Jason Reitman. This is going to follow the launch of one of the most influential shows of all time, the night as it is supposed to launch. Yeah, we're talking about Saturday Night Live, and this movie is going to take us right to the moments before it's going to air, and this looks exciting. I've recorded a couple of auditions for my friends who had the chance to audition for this movie, and just based off of some of the sides, this movie looks like it's going to be great. The trailer looks incredible, the ticking of the clock in the background, the style in which it's shot, the actors in which they chose to portray some of these iconic, not only teen, but film and comedy stars. This movie's gotten me really excited. I was excited to know that this was just coming out and might make it to production, but now that it's all the way coming up on its release, I am very, very excited to watch Saturday Night. So definitely keep an eye out for this one, because like I said, it is going to be dropping on October 11th. And that's going to bring us to my number 5 most hyped movie coming out towards the end of 2024, and it is none other than Nosferatu. Yes, Nosferatu. What better way to end out the year, especially dropping on December 25th. Yes, on Christmas Day. Who wouldn't want to go see a great vampire movie? Now, yes, this is a remake of the original introduction of vampires on screen, but this looks pretty good. This one has an interesting take on it, but it is still very much kept in the realm of that gothic horror. So I am excited to see how this one really unfolds, because I know that people either really like that gothic horror style, kind of like the Crimson Peaks of the world out there, or there are people who just can't stand it. They think it's slow, they think it's boring, they think it's monotonous. There's a reason we got rid of that and moved on in cinema. But I am very excited for this. This movie is written and directed by Robert Eggers, and just based off of the trailer, it looks great. The trailer looks so good, in fact. The first teaser that came out for it didn't even feature Nosferatu. It didn't have to. It just had to feature the ambiance of what we're going to be seeing on screen. The mood was there, soundtrack was there, color grading, the shots, all of it looked great. I am very excited to watch Nosferatu, and who knows? Maybe I'll even go see it on Christmas Day, because why not? Who doesn't want to celebrate a great Christmas morning, great lunch, and then head to the movies and watch Nosferatu do his thing? Sounds like a great day to me. But like I said, dropping on Christmas Day, December 25th, is Nosferatu. And there we have it, guys. Those are my top 5 movies to get you hyped to go to the movie theaters to round out 2024. However, I got one more for you. I got a bonus pick for you. And this one didn't quite make my list because it comes out really, really soon. But then also, I'm excited, but I'm also very scared for this one. And I'm talking about dropping on September 6th. Beetlejuice. No, I will not be saying it a third time. But we have all seen Beetlejuice before. Beetlejuice is a classic cult favorite movie. It's got Michael Keaton coming back to reprise his famous character. It looks like a good time. Now, this movie is going to be really good or really bad. But I must say, either way, I plan to go see this in theaters, and I plan to have a good time. I'm one of those people who still enjoys going to a movie theater. Large popcorn, large Coke, maybe a beer, depending on what I'm seeing. And this looks like it's going to be a great popcorn flick. But like I said, it could either go really good, or it could go really bad. But my bonus pick for you, dropping pretty soon, on September 6th, is Beetlejuice. And there we have it, guys. Like I said, my top 6 recommendations to round out 2024. Now, if you haven't already, go ahead and go watch my TV show recommendation video. There's some good stuff coming to TV, and in fact, one of them actually just came out and started, and it was a good pick. It's a good one. But you'll have to go watch that video to figure out the top 5 TV shows that are coming to round out 2024. But with that being said, guys, I'm Lucas here at Houston Productions, and if you haven't done so, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks.